5 or something probably.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Badger Den tonight for the first of our two varsity games. We've got a doubleheader going on tonight. Tonight we've got the Whitehorse Raiders, both girls and boys, here with us in Bicknell. Just finished up a game with both JV girls and boys. They were in separate gyms, so I'm not sure what the score is on the JV girls game, but the JV boys won 66. The Wayne boys won 66-46 in that JV matchup. So again, this is the first of a doubleheader tonight for varsity. We've got the boys playing first. They'll start off in about 4 minutes here. Then we've got the girls tipping off at 6 o'clock. Whitehorse comes into this game with a record of 7-12. They're number 3 in Region 19, currently number 14 in all of 1A. The Raiders are led by a junior, or let's see, is he a junior? Yeah, he is a junior, Adam Joe, averaging 14.4 points per game. The Raiders are coming off a close game last night over to Escalante. They lost to the Mokies, score 65-69. Over on the Wayne side, the Badgers come into this game with a record of 15-4. They're currently ranked number 1 in Region 20, number 2 in all of 1A, just behind the Manila Mustangs. Those two teams kind of go back and forth depending on who they played one day to the next and on the RPI. So right now, Manila's got the number 1 spot. The Badgers coming off an 85-37 win up in Wendover after a long road trip with the girls up to St. Joe's and Wendover last weekend. So a big win for the boys up in Wendover. Badgers are currently led by the 3 seniors, Blake Peterson, averaging 21 points a game. Hunter Robbins averaging 15.4, and Tristan Martinez averaging 11.8. And Tristan's rebounds have dropped just below 10. So he's at 9.6 rebounds per game right now. So we'll see if he can get back into that double-double territory on this season. Still having a great year. So it should be a good game for the Badgers tonight. As a reminder, tomorrow night, here we've got the Paiute Thunderbirds coming in for senior night for the boys, and then on Thursday we've got Valley coming in for the girls. So we're about 2 minutes from the presentation of the flag and the starting lineup. We'll take a break for a minute and be back for the beginning of the game.
So the national anthem this evening was performed by the Wayne High School Choir, led by Sade Syme. So the starters tonight, we're going to go ahead and introduce the starters for the Whitehorse Raiders. They're going to start number 1, Elam Etzedy. He's a senior. We also have a sophomore, number 3, Hyatt Thomas. They have a junior, number 13, Adam Joe. A senior, number 20, Aiden Ham. And a senior, number 32, Braden John. And the Raiders are coached by Orlando Thomas Jr. They have some assistant coaches, Latonya, Vincent Jones, and Dylan McConnell is also an assistant coach there. So, and then the Badgers tonight, they're going to go ahead and start. We can wait while we get you guys all amped up. But so tonight, starting for the Badgers, We've got a sophomore, number 2, RJ Pau. And then it's going to be a senior, number 3, Tristan Martinez. And then senior, number 13, Blake Peterson. And then we're going to have a junior, number 24, Trayson Brown. And then rounding it out, we're going to have a senior, number 40, Hunter Robbins. So RJ, you know, his ankle's definitely feeling a little bit better coming back into the starting lineup. And we'll see how things go here tonight.
It's good to see him back in the lineup. He's actually been playing pretty well. They've been sliding him in here and there the last little bit, trying to get him kind of back in shape and reaccustomed to playing. He's been doing well.
Yeah, I've handed out more bags of ice for the girls team from Whitehorse. They went over and played Escalante last night. Both of these guys did, and it was a little bit rough. And then they came over here. So we've got a lot of sore people. So handed out lots of bags of ice. So we'll see how this goes tonight. And the jump goes up, and it goes to Blake Peterson from Robbins. He dumps it down, tries to go to Trace, and it's turned over by the Raiders. And Thomas brings the ball up across the timeline for the Raiders, and he dumps it down to number 20. That's Ham. Ham pulls up for 3 on the left wing. No good. Rebounded Robbins. Robbins throws it up to Trayson Brown on the fast break. He goes up left hand. 2 points. Trayson Brown. Great look by Robbins. Once again, they're just the same thing that we've been doing the last couple days. Just get a good rebound and a quick fast break. So who's that? It came down number 3. So that's Thomas. He tries coming down in the middle of the paint and ends up picking up a travel call for a turnover for the Raiders. It'll be Badger basketball as Peterson brings the ball up across the timeline, kicks it over to the right wing to RJ. RJ back down to Peterson on the baseline, dumps it into Robbins. He's double teamed, dumps it into Tristan. Tristan kind of hard, goes up through his legs off the ground. He goes up, no good. Ball still on the ground. Ham comes away with it, or Thomas comes away with it for the Raiders, and he dumps it over to Ham. Ham kicks it back up to Thomas. Thomas guarded by Peterson up across the timeline, bounces behind his back, pulls up at the free throw line, pulls up for 2, no good. Rebounded Robbins. Robbins went right up over Trayson Brown and got his own rebound right over the top of him. So Trayson has the ball on the left wing. He's going to dump it down into Peterson. Peterson on a 15-footer, baseline, no good. RJ comes in, tips it around. Peterson comes away with his own rebound, looks into Robbins. Robbins catches it, puts it up, no good as well. Rebounded by number 20. That's Aiden Ham. He kicks it over to at City. He takes it on the left-hand side, the senior. Back out to Ham. Ham right on the left wing, cuts it back off the top, kicks it out to John. Thomas has it on the baseline. He goes up with a one-hand floater, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up off the glass, no good. Tries to get his rebound. Peterson comes away with it for the Badgers. So both teams right now having a little hard time getting the ball to go into the hoop as Trayson Brown pulls up for 3, no good. Robbins there for a rebound. He goes up, tries to flip it in, and he gets fouled by number 1. That's Elam Etsidi, and he picks up his first foul, puts Robbins on the line for 2. So both teams having multiple opportunities to shoot some easy baskets, lots of rebounds and lots of putbacks, but nothing falling in the hoop as of yet. It'll start going, I believe. Robbins' first free throw is good. Hunter's second free throw is up, also good. Thomas has the basketball for the Raiders, kicks it up to John on the right wing, back to Thomas. Thomas takes it down on the right-hand side. He's going to take it all the way to the hole. Goes up, and no good. Rebounded by number 13. That's Joe, and he gets blocked, and Tristan Martinez comes away with it as he dumps it down into Peterson. Peterson throws it up to RJ. RJ throws it up to Robbins for an alley-oop. Robbins goes up, misses it. Just short, didn't quite get up over the rim, and the Raiders come away with a rebound. And at Ham has the ball, left wing. He's going to pull it for a 3 up over Tristan Martinez. Airballs it out of bounds. So turnover Raiders, going to be Badger basketball, and Coach Jackson wants to have a timeout. So we've got 5:38 remaining here in the first period. Badgers up 4-0, and Coach Jackson wants to have a 30-second timeout. Talk about it. So out of the timeout, Robbins will inbound it to Peterson. Calls out the play, passes it over on the right wing to RJ. RJ back out to Martinez. Martinez looked at a three, probably got away with the travel.
He stutter stepped a little right there.
Gave it over to Peterson, back to Martinez. Martinez pulls up for three. That's off to the left-hand side. Peterson there for the rebound. Put back, no, off to the left. Rebounded, tipped out of bounds by number 20. That's Aiden Ham. It's going to be Badger basketball underneath their own hoop. So 2 more opportunities right there.
And they're cold.
And they're close. And those babies are close.
They are.
So Peterson set to inbound, throws it out to RJ on the left baseline, back to Peterson. Peterson dumps it down into Robbins. Robbins kind of got pushed underneath by number 13,
13
Joe.
got away with the shove.
And the Raiders come away with the basketball as Edsity has it up on the top, and he kicks it over to Thomas. Thomas hesitates, guarded by Tristan Martinez. Back to Edsity. He takes it down the baseline, gets pushed a little bit. Tristan Martinez comes away with it. So they're kind of letting him play a little bit right now, kind of getting away with a few pushes, a couple travels, things like that. Peterson going to pull up for three on the left baseline. Good. Blake Peterson, 3 points from the left-hand side. John has the basketball for the Raiders, comes up across the timeline. Looking, dumps it into Ham. Ham back over to Joe. Joe takes it down, blocked by Robbins. Probably could have been a goaltend, but no call. RJ comes away with it, throws it up to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown goes down and scores another 2 points. So that gives the Badgers a 9-point lead, 9-0, 4:25 remaining here in this first period. As Ham has the basketball, he kind of bobbled it a little bit, and RJ kind of tipped it out of bounds. It's going to be Raider basketball right in front of the Badger bench. So Joe inbounds to Edsty, back to Joe. He had got away with the travel himself. So kicks it back out to Thomas. Thomas pulls up for a 15-footer, no good. Rebounded by the Raiders, number 13, that's Joe. Joe kicks it back out to Ham, or to Thomas, and Thomas puts up 2 points for the Raiders to give them their first bucket of the night. Trayson Brown has it on the left wing. Looks in, dumps it into Peterson. Peterson into Robbins. Robbins double team. Tristan Martinez comes down the lane, takes a nice 2 big giant steps from the free throw line and puts it in for 2 more points for Tristan Martinez. That's a good look on Robbins' part. He was double teamed and found the open man coming right down the lane.
Yep.
Joe's going to take it down the lane on our side, and he's going to go up and get fouled. So he saw the opening coming right down the middle of the paint and took it up there, and Robbins ends up picking up the foul on that. Excuse me. So that's going to put Adam Joe on the free throw line. So his first bucket's up and good. As Peyton Jackson checks in for RJ Powell. Adam Joe, second free throw, short off front iron, rebounded Robbins. Robbins kicks it over to Peterson. He's going to push it down the left-hand side, sends it down to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown thought about three, pulls it out. No, not there. Back up to Tristan on the top of the key. Back to Peterson on the baseline. Back to Tristan. Tristan at the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by number 13. That's Adam Joe. Joe kicks it up to Elam. Elam does a nice little Euro step, floats it up, banks it off the backboard, and puts it in for 2 points. That was a nice move on his point. Takes 2 big old giant steps, Euroed it, floated it up off the backboard in for 2 points. So Badgers up 11-5. 3 minutes remaining here in the first period as Robbins has the basketball underneath. Goes up and bounces it across the rim. Couldn't quite get it. He was in great position, couldn't quite get it. Rebounded by the Raiders as Etzik has the basketball. He turns it over to Peyton Jackson. He leaned up over the top trying to get a jump ball, leaned right up over Jackson's shoulders, and he's going to end up picking up a foul on that. So 15, Tyrell Black is going to check in for Elam for the Raiders. Peyton Jackson has the basketball, kicks it over to Peterson, back over to Trayson Brown on the left wing, back to Peterson, top of the key, into Tristan at the free throw line. Looked into Robbins, had him, gets it to Jackson. Jackson goes into Robbins. Robbins double team, back to Jackson. Jackson for 3, in and out. Rebounded by number 20. That's Aiden Ham as he brings the ball up across the timeline, kicks it back out to Thomas. Thomas has it on the right-hand side. Hesitation dribble. He's going to take it down. Guarded by Peterson. Gets the 2 big men in off their feet. Kicks it back out, and number 15, that's Tyrell Black. He just checked in, pulls up for 3, no good. Rebounded by Robbins. Robbins kicks it out to Peterson. Peterson's going to come down, kicks it over to Jackson. Jackson had Robbins for just a second cutting down the paint, but didn't quite give it to him. Got it to Peterson, back to Jackson. Jackson looking in, back to Peterson. Peterson pulls up for three on the baseline, no good. Rebounded Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown has it on the right-hand side, kicks it back up to up to Jackson. Jackson dumps it down to Tristan. Tristan kind of dribbled up over the top of number 32. That is John, and then he gets his shot blocked by number 13, Joe. It's going to put Badger basketball underneath their own basket. Minute 53 remaining here in the first period. Badgers up 11-5. As Peterson sets the inbound, kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson's going to pull up for three. No good. Rebounded Tristan Martinez. He puts it back up and in. I don't know if that was considered a pass or a rebound.
I'm going to give him a rebound.
No, I would. Yeah, it was definitely a rebound. So number 20, Ham, has it on the baseline. He pulls up for two. No good. But rebounded by number 13, Joe. Joe goes up and Robbins blocks him. He throws that baby down the floor. Trayson Brown sitting down there waiting. Might have got away with the travel.
He did.
Then he ended up stepping out of bounds. So he got away with the travel and ended up trying to gather up the basketball as it kind of got tipped out and stepped out of bounds down there, giving it to back to the Raiders.
He's so quick as soon as he thinks that ball is going to be. He's down the floor.
Well, I mean, when you got three of the tallest guys down here to get rebounds, it's got to be pretty easy to know that we're going to get the rebound.
Yeah.
Just like that, and then he's off to the races once again. So Robbins gets another rebound, kicked it back out to Peterson. Peterson down to Brown. Brown dumps it into Robbins. Let's see what Robbins can do this time. He goes down, gets himself a little bit. Man, he gets so low underneath that backboard, and that one kind of hit that padding
corner
on the way up, but he got fouled, so that'll put him on the free throw line. So that was number 13. That's Adam Joe. He picked up his first personal foul. That's the third team foul for the Raiders as Robbins hits his first free throw. So Robbins, second free throws up and good. Rylan Hallow's going to check in for Robbins. Raiders inbound. Throws kind of a little short little pass, and Trayson Brown just about had a steal, but Thomas has it, kicks it. He has it at the top of the key. He's going to take it down, guarded by Trayson Brown. Rylan is right there to help with him. He keeps scrapping with it and goes up for 2 points and no good. Rebounded by Jackson as he passes it back out to Peterson. Peterson gets it back to Jackson. Jackson pulls up for a 15-footer bank board, no good. Tristan Martinez comes away with the rebound. Ryland ends up getting it from him. Kicks it back out to Brown. Brown out to Jackson. Jackson for three, good. Peyton Jackson, 3 points, right-hand baseline. 30 seconds remaining here in the first period. Badgers up 18-5. As number 15, Aiden Ham has it. He's going to step into the free throw, just inside the three-point line, and misses it, and rebounded once again by Tristan Martinez. Blake Peterson has it. 20 seconds remaining here in this first period. No shot clock as Coach Jackson hollers at him to run off a little bit of time. We go too high on the high post. Tristan Martinez has it. Kicks it over to Jackson. Jackson takes it baseline. Kicks it out to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown for three on the left-hand side. No good. Rebounded. Oh, Peterson had it for just a second and ended up losing it. And number 13, Adam Joe had an opportunity for a three-quarter court shot. No good. So at the end of the first period, it's going to be the home team Badgers 18, the guest, the Whitehorse Raiders 5. I think we saw like 2 cars maybe. So, okay, it's going to be Whitehorse basketball coming in here at the start of the second period.
See if that hoop's a little bit more forgiving for the Badgers. That scores.
Yeah.
That score doesn't really reflect.
Yeah, we've had lots and lots of opportunity. I mean, on both sides, too. There's been lots of shots both ways, just nothing falling.
Yeah.
So Raiders have the basketball, top of the key. That is Black. Black kicks it back over to Thomas. Thomas looking for a screen. They go a double screen. Thomas pulls up for a long three. Good. So that's Hyatt Thomas pulls up for a deep three and ends up giving the Raiders 8 points, 18-8, as Robbins has it dumped in from Peterson. Defense didn't quite get back on that time, and Robbins had it pretty easy. Kept that one right up above his head and threw it up off the backboard, and that one for sure was in. Trayson Brown comes away with it, so he goes down for another 2 points. So Blake Peterson ended up getting his hand in there and knocking that ball out of the Raiders' hand, and Trayson Brown comes away with it and goes up and puts another 2 points up for him. That's 6 for him tonight. As number 32, that's John, brings it up across the timeline. He's going to go up to Joe. Joe goes up, he can't quite get it, misses his bucket, and Jackson comes away with the rebound, and he kicks it up to Peterson. Peterson dumps it down to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown dumps it into Rylan Howells, up for 2 points on the left-hand side, Rylan Howells. And Coach Thomas wants to have a timeout and talk about what's going on right there. So you can tell everything's going to start happening right now. These Badgers are getting the rebound almost every single time, fast break points, and all we got to do is make the layup. So
yeah, they're picking up the pace. They seem to get a little more comfortable. Seemed a little bit cold in that first quarter there. Seem to be picking it up a little better. So,
yep.
All right, we'll take a break.
So we've got 7 minutes remaining here in the second period. The Badgers are up to 24-8 now. They pulled out for a couple quick points, and they're going to pull into their 1-3-1 press as the Raiders end up turning it over. Jackson comes away with it. He's going to take it up with the right hand. No good. Rebounded by Peterson, and he gets fouled, and the ball bounces around, and that didn't quite go in. So I don't think the Raiders were quite expecting that 1-3-1 right out of the gate, and then as soon as they come out, we got a turnover right out of the gate.
Payton wasn't very happy with himself that he missed that one. Blake misses his first one.
Sorry, I got some of the girls asking me some questions.
Coach is double dutying tonight.
Can we help you with something?
Cheer coaches, man.
Cheer coach
coaches
up here. They're always looking to play some music, so you got to have the cable. So we got the Raiders with the basketball. That is Thomas with the basketball. Kicks it over to Joe. Joe's down on the right-hand baseline. He was guarded by Peterson. RJ checks back in. He's up on the top of the key. Joe has it, kicks it out to Black. Black back to Joe. Joe goes up, and he's going to get fouled. So Joe's Adam Joe. He's pretty quick in there. He's kind of a bigger kid. And he can handle the basketball real well, and he's going to go to the paint, and he's going to end up getting two free throws out of the deal. So RJ picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul. So Joel makes his first free throw. Second free throw up for Joe is in and out. Rebounded by Rylan Hallows. Rylan kicks it over to RJ. RJ back to Peterson. Peterson takes it up across the timeline, kicks it on the left wing, back to RJ, back to Peterson, top of the key, back over to Jackson on the right-hand side. Jackson dumps it down into Peterson. Peterson tried to look in to throw it to Robbins, and it's luckily that wouldn't get turned over because Blake didn't even look as he was throwing it in there. They had one guy fronting him, one guy behind him, and then on the meantime, Payton stepped out of bounds right in front of the Raiders bench for another turnover for the Badgers. Tristan Martinez going to check back in. And so is Trayson Brown. So Ryland's going to come back out, and so is Payton. So 6:17 remaining here in this first half. Black has the basketball for the Raiders, guarded by Brown. Dumps it out here to number 25. That's Sam. He just checked in as well. Sam kicks it back out to Black. Black takes it down, gets it back out to Thomas. Thomas hesitates, going to get a screen at the top of the key, tries to throw it inside. It's picked away by RJ. RJ, the guy had a hold of his foot. He tried to take off. I hope that wasn't his
That's
sore
scary.
one. Yeah, because he just kind of reached out and grabbed his foot.
He
as
came
he
up
was
a little
taking
tender, too. You can see he's.
Yeah, I think that.
You might not be able to see it on the camera, but that left ankle is taped 6
Heavily.
ways from Sunday.
Plus a brace, plus all kinds of, and he's still favoring it just a little
It
bit.
ended up, when they got an x-ray finally, it ended up being a hairline fracture. So he's playing on a pretty tender foot.
Peterson has it on the left baseline. He pump fakes, nothing there. Dumps it over to RJ. RJ back to Tristan. Tristan over to Brown. Brown brings it back to the top of the key, kicks it back to Peterson on the left wing. Peterson pulls up for a deep three, bounces around, no good. RJ tries to come and get it, but it's rebounded by number 13. That's Adam Joe. He brings it up across the timeline, gets it out to Thomas. Thomas pulls up for a 15-footer, good. So that's Hyatt Thomas for 2 points. So 5:25 remaining here in this first half. Badgers up 25-11. Tristan Martinez has it, kicks it over on the right-hand side to RJ. RJ looking to Robbins, dumps it into Robbins. He's double-teamed, tries to get into Martinez. Ball was tipped around 2 or 3 times off the Raiders, and the last touch by Tristan Martinez. So it kind of was like pinballed around in there for just a minute, and Tristan touched it out of bounds on the last possession. So Raiders have it. Badgers going to set up their full court press. Black does a nice little spin move, kicks it back over to Thomas. Thomas pulls up for another 15-footer. Gets kind of a little one-handed floater and gets that to bounce around and goes in. So RJ has the basketball, kicks it out to Martinez. Martinez looking back over to RJ on the left-hand side. He takes one dribble, brings it back out, kicks it out to Peterson. Peterson dumps it down to Brown. Brown pulls it back out. Coach Jackson's hollering at the play. Tristan has it back over to RJ. RJ on the left wing for 3, good. RJ Pau for 3. And then they jump right back into their full court press. So number 25, that's Sam, has the basketball, kicks it back out to Black. Black has it, dumps it over to number 13, Joe. Joe brings it down, 15-footer, one-hander, good. So the Badgers on this press are not quite in getting back, and these guys are able to get these nice little 5 or 15-foot one-hand floaters to go. As Blake Peterson takes it down the paint, he's guarded by 3, tries to get it into Robbins, still guarded by 3. He gets his own tip back and then finally gets it into Robbins. Robbins puts it on the floor, gets it dipped around. So the ball flopped around there 10 times before Robbins finally ended up getting 2 points out of the deal. So that's 8 points for Robbins, giving the Badgers a 15-point lead, 30-15, as Blake Peterson intercepts a pass, dumps it over to Martinez. Martinez goes up, finger rolls, no good. Rebounded Peterson. Peterson puts it back, bounces around 2 or 3 times. Man, these things are not going
ugly.
in at
it's
all.
Ugly, but we'll take
but
it.
They're going. So Thomas has it for the Raiders. He's going to come down in, guarded by 3. Might have got away with the travel, dumped it over to number 25, Sam. Sam goes back out to Joe. Joe puts up a 2-pointer, no good, rebounded by Robbins. Kicks it out to Peterson. Looked at the Raiders are getting back on that fast break, that cherry pick now. So Trason Brown looked at a 3, kicks it over to Peterson. He's wide open. That's going to be short. Goes up, rebounded by number 13. That's Joe for the Raiders. So Blake thought about that one for a little bit too long, I think. It wasn't quite in flow. So Thomas has it for a 3 on the right baseline. No good. Rebounded by Tristan Martinez. Tipped around there by Peterson, and then Martinez ends up getting the rebound. Trason Brown pulls up for 3 on the left-hand side. That's long. No good. Rebounded by number 15. That's Tyrell Black. And then Trason ends up trying to get a tip out of that deal and tipped it out of bounds. He tried to go save it and ended up stepping out of bounds. So, I mean, that was a good hustle play to get the deflection. Just a little bit too much on the deflection. Couldn't quite get the handle. Coach Jackson wants to have a timeout. So we've got 2:49 remaining here in this first half. Badgers are up 32-15. So the Raiders are going to have it inbounded down on down by our basket. So they're going to come down this way, and Etsy check back. Etsy check back in, number 1. He kicks the ball back out to number 32, John. John goes back up to Elam on the top of the key, guarded by Brown. Brown tries to come around on the baseline, or behind him, to get a tip, and no good. And Elam takes that right down the paint, does a nice little one-hander, puts another 2 points up. That's 4 for him for the evening. RJ has the basketball on the right wing, dumps it down to Peterson on the right baseline. Peterson skips it over to Brown. Brown back out to Tristan. Tristan takes a couple dribbles, looks at Peterson coming down the baseline, but he waited for the defense to kind of clear out, and the ball bounces around 4 or 5 times again, and another 2 points for Blake Peterson. That's 8 for him for the evening. Or this afternoon, I guess. It's not quite evening, right?
Yeah, we're pretty early yet.
So number 13, Joe, he comes down in the paint, tries to do an up and under flip. He ends up going to pick up a foul. Who did they give that foul?
They gave it
Robbins.
to Hunter.
So that's 2 on Robbins. That's going to put Joe on the free throw line for 2 free throws. So first free throws. Did he make that? Good?
Yes. Yes.
I looked down at my paper just 1 second. I didn't know if it went in or not.
Ryland and Payton checked in for Hunter and RJ right there.
Second free throw's up and good as well. And then they got a sub coming in. So Thomas checking back in, and he's going to give Braden John a little breather. So Raiders going into man. Peterson has the basketball, kicks it over to Jackson on the right-hand side. Back into Peterson on the baseline, back to Jackson. Jackson back down to Peterson. Ryland's posted up pretty hard. Going to try to get that into to him. Back. Trayson Brown has the basketball on the left-hand side. He might have got away with the travel. Gave it out to Peterson. Peterson takes it down, pulls up over the top, and no good. Going to be rebounded by the Raiders, number 20. Ryland tries to come get it, and Tristan Martinez intercepts a long pass that was coming from Ham, trying to get it down to Elam, and he couldn't quite get a hold of that. Tristan ended up grabbing a hold of that with one hand, so turnover on the Raiders. Brown has it back to Tristan. Tristan out to Jackson. Ryland's working hard in there, and they're not even hardly getting in the ball, but Tristan has it. Back over to Brown. Brown tries to throw it out to Peterson, and nobody was there. The ball was tipped, so it's not going to be at backcourt. Peterson brings it back across. He's got 11 seconds here on the shot clock. He's going to take it in strong. Nobody there. Dumps it into Tristan. Tristan goes up strong. Ryland comes away with the rebound, and number 20 ends up just ripping it out of his hand to Aiden Ham. And so that didn't seem like a very good possession on the offensive side for the Badgers on that one. Ham has it. He gets knocked on the ground. Gets it out to Elam. Elam has it at the top of the key. Ryland's working hard to try to get a deflection in there. That was an offensive foul. So number 3, Hyatt Thomas, he ends up kind of pushing off with his forearm and ends up picking up a personal foul out of that deal. That's the coach in me, I guess, Jared. I'm just instantly looking for a foul, you know. So
yeah, you saw that. I didn't see it, but that's why they pay you the big bucks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I have to do this for my second job. Just kidding. Peterson has it over here to Jackson on the right wing. Jackson waiting for him to come across. Dumps it into Ryland. Ryland double teamed. Kicks it back out to Jackson over to Tristan. Tristan down to Brown. Brown into Peterson. Peterson 15-footer on the baseline. Bounces around. No good. Ryland Hallows rips it out of the hands. Kicks it out to Jackson. And Jackson up good. So good hustle play on Ryland Hallows' part. The Raiders had the rebound, and he ended up ripping that right out of their hands and gets it back out there as Trayson Brown ends up getting a steal as well, just right before halftime, and goes down for another 2 points for him. That's 8 for him as well tonight. So as the buzzer horns or sounds for the halftime, Badgers are up 38-19. So I think we're going to have the cheerleaders going to come out.
Yep. So tonight we're honoring Charlie Blackburn. Maybe you know Charlie. He was, for me, he was a bus driver for a lot of years. Drove me to school and to different events when I was in high school some 30 years ago. But Charlie just turned 91 years old. He's the oldest living Badger alumni at the age of 91. So they're gonna honor him tonight here at the ball game. So they've just invited him and his family. Looks like that's most of his kids.
Yeah.
If not all of them.
Couple grandkids, quite a few grandkids, couple great grandkids.
Yeah, he's got a big family.
That Charlie used to drive us around when I helped Coach Hinkle for, and then baseball. And
a lot of fun stories on Charlie's bus.
oh man, I can think of one right now.
Usually had to do with some of us doing things we shouldn't have been doing and him getting after us. But he was a good bus driver.
Yeah, he was a good driver.
You could always hear him bellowing too when he didn't like the calls.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
did
yeah.
not like he did not like the calls. he was a fan.
Yeah,
Still
so-
is. He's down there in his purple gold jacket.
Yeah, still in his jacket. Yeah, they're just basically, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're just basically just kind of going through his life story of all the stuff, all of the accomplishments that he's had in his life, and talking about his family and his kids, and just being all the things that he's done. 1 million miles. 1 million miles with no accident.
That's a lot of bus.
My word. That's pretty impressive.
He drove for every team and every activity at Wayne High School. He was an avid Wayne High fan, and he struggled when any officiator made any calls against Wayne High.
Yeah, so they're basically saying what you said, Jared, that anytime that if a call didn't go Badger's way, he was going to let him have it.
He'd sit back there on that back row at the away games and just beller. It was good stuff.
We want to just thank Charles for all of his years of service to Wayne High and for his many years of influence in Wayne High School in this community. Thank him and his lovely wife and their family. Thank you so much.
Good to see him and Janae both out.
That's right.
At the ball game.
Yeah, they've been to a couple games, so it's kind of nice to see him come back out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one. I can remember one story. I looked over one time. I was sitting up in the front of the bus, and I looked over, and he was leaned over. I thought he was asleep. We were driving right down the middle of the road, and I was like, "Charles, you awake?" I kind of woke him up, and he was dead. He was wide awake, and he was like, "I can see better with the lights if I drive down the middle of the road, because then they shine on both sides.
Yeah.
Be able to see We were coming across from Coucheram Res, and and I was just like, he kind of startled me there for a few minutes, but he knew what he was doing. I mean, to get 1 million miles and no accidents, you know what he's doing. So
We used to ask him. This is when I was in middle school, and he'd drive us. He'd be the ride home for me. He'd be the drive home, and we'd ask him to play music for us. And so he'd put a tape in, and if he didn't like it, he'd pull it out and throw it out the window. And anyway, there's a bunch of us that lost several cassettes to Charlie Blackburn because he didn't like the music. But we kind of did it just to see his reaction sometimes, and it was always fun. So, well, we've got